All right. So now we are on the quiz page for mobile app. We need to make slight, very small changes. So let's do this. So in this call SM12, we'll divide this in three parts. So first is going to be header for this, which is going to be this where we have our question count and timer, and we have this quiz section, right? Hmm. We want this thing, this section content to be in that header, right? So let's do this. Let's go to quiz page layout. It is not able to go there, so we'll go manually quiz page layout. Here we have this page title. We know that this is only for a single page, so quiz page layout. So here only we can do that. First thing, maybe let's not make it as 3, let's make it as 4, and then let's make it the background color of that R color, that app color. But there is one catch here. We'll leave it as 3 only. We need this thing to be applied only for mobile, only for MAUI side. Okay. So for this, we need to somehow access or to understand that or to figure out that this is the mobile version we are right now in. All right. So for this, what we'll do, we'll follow approach. We'll have one interface in our shared project. Okay, here we'll call it, let's say, platform, or it could be anything. Maybe I don't know. For now, let's have platform only. So in this interface, we'll say public interface platform, and here we can have uh, properties. We'll have bool is MAUI or is mobile app, something like this. Just get, and second thing we'll say is web. Okay, then we can add other as well if we want to, other methods or properties to this. Now what we'll do, we'll have implementation of this platform in both of our projects, in our API project, in our mobile project, and in our web project. Okay, so in web project, let's quickly create a platform. Or we can simply say web platform. This should be an implementation of platform. Let's implement the interface. So we have is mobile app. So for this, we know this is not mobile app. Is web? Yes, this is web. Save it. Now we'll go to our mobile project. Here we'll simply say, let's say mobile platform. This should be again, first thing public. Second thing platform. And let's implement interface. So is mobile app? Yes. Is web? No. So this should be false here. Now what we'll do, we'll register this platform with this mobile platform in our mobile. So we'll go to MAUI program, and here where we have our registrations, here we'll say dot add singleton. We'll say with platform we want to register mobile platform. Then let me copy this, go to the web project, program.cs. Here where we have our registrations, here only I'll say add singleton platform, and here I'll register web platform. Save everything. Now we are good to inject this platform in our components. So I am in shared components now. Here in our components, in our layout, actually in quiz page layout, Here we can inject IPlatform. Okay. Then we can simply have our condition here. If platform dot is web, then do something. If is mobile, then do something else. Okay. So if this is mobile, we'll have different appearance for this. Else, we'll have different appearance for this. Okay. So if this is mobile, then what we'll do? First thing, we don't have want to have this h1. Maybe we'll have h3 or h4. This we can get rid of. We'll have fw bold. We can say text white. We can have style and background color as our word app color. You can have it in css also if you want to. I'm having it directly here. Then we have this section outlet page title, so we should be good with this thing now. Save it. We'll see how is it looking. If we want to make any change, we'll make it. And here we don't want it to be bold on mobile app. Okay. Now let's go to the quiz page. So quiz.razor. Here we fixed this thing with that thing. Now we want these buttons to be at the very end. So for this, what we'll do, we'll have the first section, this total questions and quiz timer, and then maybe this question text and HR. These we'll consider these as header. Then these options and error message, or maybe just options, we'll have this as a center part which can be large. And then this error and these buttons, these things we'll have at the very end. So we want to break this thing in 3 rows. First row will be this. So we can have div class, maybe just some header. Then the second for each with maybe error message or without error message, it's up to us. Here we'll say div class body. And then this third section where we have our error, HR, and these buttons. We are going to have these things in a div class footer. Now this header, footer, body, these classes directly might be ambiguous. These might be some styles in Bootstrap. So let's prefix with something else. Maybe let's say quiz header. And here we can say quiz body. Here we can say quiz footer. Now, for this, what we'll do on this call SM12, on this thing, we'll make it as display flex. Okay. After this, on this quiz body, we want this to take entire space. When we say entire space, whatever remaining from header and footer, you should take all that space. So here we can say flex pro 1. Save. And now we'll simply start it. We'll see, we need to make it dynamic. We'll make it dynamic on the basis of platform because we don't need this thing. We don't want this to be like this on the web version. But right now, let's leave it like this only and let's try to run it. And one more thing. On this my quizzes, if you remember, for the mobile, I want this default page size to be a bit smaller. Okay. So here I will not have it as direct constant. I'll have it private int default page size. Now I'll rename this. So right click, rename, and I'll say underscore default page size. This pagination state will not have it here because right now this is not a constant or static. So we have it as instance variable, so we need to add this in on initialized. Okay, in here first thing we will check We'll inject our platform inject at the rate inject IPlatform. Now in here we will check, or maybe we'll directly say, or let's check it. If platform dot is mobile app, then we want this default page size to be maybe 8 or 5. Let's have 8. Okay. And after this, we'll say pagination state dot items per page equals underscore default page size. And now with this setup, we should be good. Let's quickly try it out. First, we'll check on mobile app if it is working the way we are expecting it. Then we'll move to the web to see if anything got broken or everything still works same. All right, so this came. Go to this home. We have this spacing here. Cool. We can start quiz. Or before that, let's check my quiz. My quizzes. And we still have this spacing which we don't want. We'll fix this, but we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. After 8, we have this paging. On this also, we should have something like this pagination. This thing. This should be at the very end, right? And this center middle section or this grid, this should take up whatever space we have. Okay, we'll do this. The next thing, let's go to the home again. Start this quiz. Okay. And we can see this is broken. That's because by default, the flex direction, if you go to quiz page, we added this where is this display flex. By default, flex direction is row. We need to make it column. Flex column. I don't know if it will be hot reloaded. It is not coming up. Okay, let's go with the route. We'll inspect. Okay, we are here. Let's come here and inside this article we'll have, okay, let's somehow move to this thing. Here we have h4. After this div class, this one, inside this we have this display flex. On this we'll say flex column. Okay, with this something is good. After that we have this quiz header, which is fine. We have flex grow one, which is not taking the space which we wanted it to take. Then we have this quiz footer. So we have different approaches. With flex grow one, it is taking, but it does not know the height of this display flex grid. Now on this one, what we can do, we can maybe have somehow compute height. We can use viewport height utilities. We had vh100, but in that case we need to subtract this, the top headers height from this. So that is not what we want. Here what we can do, on this div flex grow, instead of this, on this quiz footer, we can have empty auto. And for this also, do we need height? Okay, maybe we need height. Let's do this. Go to this HR. Maybe before that, let's fix this div. We have this h4. We don't have anything in the div class, right? We have this h4 where we have background color, margin 0 and all this. On this only we can have, let's say, do this p2, and we want this to be, to not take any padding or margin from any of the side, which is actually coming in article. So it is px4 content padding top is 1.1 rem, which is coming from app.css. If we remove this, should not here. Then we have px4, which we don't want for this one. So let's try what we can do. Can we somehow override this thing for this h4 or maybe this div? So for this div, let's try. Let's try to have margin uh, top minus 10 px is working. If we do this, we can have minus 16 pixel. Now if we go to content, we have padding top 1.1 rem. So we'll do minus 1.1 rem here. Minus 1.1 rem. Alright. Now if we go to px4, here we can see 1.5 rem from left and right. So on this div, we'll have margin left minus 1.1 rem, then margin right, say minus 1.1 rem. Okay. Now we should be good. There is still some spacing, right? Which is coming from this article again. Why it is coming? There's some padding. This div, or maybe it is it on h tag? No, not h4. Not this div. On this article, we have some left and right additional padding. From where it is coming? Main is fine. Article is not fine. Okay. Maybe instead of this minus 1.1, we can increase this. Margin left, what if I do 1.2, 1.3, 1.5. Let's do 1.5. Same thing with right, 1.5. And we'll not close this now because it will go away from this thing. So auto submit, here it is auto submit worked, right? We're good with this. Okay, we have these styles on this div, but these should get applied only for mobile. So let's copy this. Inside article, parent of h4. Okay. So maybe on this only we can have the padding. So instead of p2 here, let's remove this. On this div only we'll have some padding. Padding, I don't know, 5px. Oh, no. Sorry, we should not have that here because this margin will break then. So on this only let's have p3. Okay, so we have these styles. Let's go to our code. Here we have this in quiz layout, quiz page layout. We have this div. So let's do this now. We need all those styles to be applied with this mobile app only. So for this, what we can do, maybe we can have this div inside this if case and then save in else. Okay. Then on this div, we want to apply all those styles. Well, apply styles and then these things. Okay. You can again have a separate class and define that class, but I'm using these inline styles for this dynamic thing. Okay, I think we are good for this one. The next thing is, let's go to the quiz, and here, okay, we were not able to complete this, right? All right, let's go back to inspect, and here now you need to do that thing which we are doing actually, the calculating the height, computing the height. So that we'll do. For now, let's remove this modal for now from here. So that we can see this screen and we can try to design it. Okay, here we have this header again. We need to have some height on this. Right now we don't know what height it is taking right now, but we can somehow check if we'll come to H4. P3 is 1 rem, H4 is font size 1.27, or maybe you can work on CSS extensively to actually directly calculate the height. But what I'll do, I'll maybe go for a quick solution. What I can do, I can simply add a fixed height here, let's say 50 px, and then I'll try to check where it started to look bad or look good. So maybe using this. In this case, we don't need this H1 HR, right? We can get rid of this HR, this HR tag what we have. Then on this thing, we have this HR, then this H4, then this div, where we have these margins, margin top, left, right. We have height 50 px. We can see what height it is taking. So we can have the actual height, and then margin bottom we'll add that accordingly. Let's say we have margin height 50 pixel, and then margin bottom as 10 pixel. Okay, so we have this thing. Let's increase the height 55 pixel. We still have some margin remaining, so let's make it 60 pixel. Okay, now we have this 60 pixel, then we have this margin bottom 10 pixel, so let's make it 15 pixel, and we are good. Height 60, margin bottom 15 pixel. So we have these two things as well. Okay, let's go to the code and add these two things. Then I'll tell you how to make the dynamic. So we have all these things. Then we'll say margin bottom. We have this fixed unit 15 px, and we have a fixed height. Sorry, what is the 60 px? Save it, and we are here the 60 px and 15. Now we know that this header is taking 60 pixel, margin bottom is 15, that comes to adds up to 75 pixel. So we need to have this bottom section, the center section, to take 70 from total height minus this 75 pixel. Then it will be the height of this section, this complete section actually. And inside that section, then we can have maybe compute height for this section, this exit test and save and next explicitly. Or maybe let's try to have this. We have this row MB3 where we have this display flex. What if on this one, what if I add height 100%? Would it be able to get it? No. What if I make this height as 100 viewport height? Now it worked, but we can't see that those buttons now because height is 100 VH. It should be calculated from 100 VH. We need to minus 75 px, then add some extra spacing from bottom, maybe 15 px. Okay, so this is how it will look now. We need to add this height on the display flex and flex column on this one. But we need this thing only on mobile. Let's quickly see what we can do. So this should be in quiz.razor, where we have our deflex and flex column. Okay, here what we can do, we can have simply a check here, platform. We're not injecting platform here, or are we? We are not. Let's stop. Inject IPlatform. Platform. And here you can just check if the platform we are inside style equals, here we'll check platform dot is mobile app. If this is mobile app, then only do this, else don't do anything. So that thing is going to be, we'll add height here. That should be Kelsey 100 VH minus, what was that, 75 px minus 15 px. Save it. Now I guess we should be good. Yeah. There is some error. It is saying something. So this is fine. Maybe this is false error. If you don't want to add it here, let's have it here so that we can actually uh, maybe add comments to this height and all this. So here we can say string style. And then we'll add if check here. We'll check platform dot is mobile app. If it is mobile app, then we'll simply add something to the style. So here we'll say style equals this height. Okay, now here we can add some comment. We'll say 75 px, or we can say header is 60 px plus margin bottom on header is 15 px plus additional let's say buffer size, additional buffer gap, something like this. We are taking 15 px. So this is how this thing is working here. You can also have these things, these as css variables if you want to. That is also an option. Okay, but for now we are good. So we can simply get this style and we can directly render this style in here like this. Okay, save everything and let's try to see how is it looking. Is it showing the way we want it to be shown? Okay, we have home page. We'll go to home, start quiz. Okay, and we can see something is not right. We have this additional thing, but though the styling is not getting applied to this quiz, this main header, the background color is not getting applied, right? And here also we have this additional spacing which should not have. So why so? Let's check our dev tools. Let's again try to open dev tools. Okay, go here on this thing h4. Before this h4 we have this div where we have all these things, which should be fine. Now okay, on this h4 we added that p, what is that, p3, right? And we removed hr. Yeah, we removed hr and we added p3. These two things were there. Let's go to the code, quiz page layout. We wanted to remove this hr on mobile version, so let's move this hr in this else case where it will be applied to the desktop app only, the browser version, not for mobile version. We are good with this hr. Then on this h4 we'll add p3, save it. Maybe let's stop and restart. And before that, on my quiz also we wanted that this grid should take all the space, then we should have this pagination outside of that and at the very bottom, right? And we had the spacing from left right in this table responsive as well. So what we'll do here, inside this div class row, let's have div class call sm12, paste everything here. Now after this, we want this to be take entire space, then pagination at the very end. For this, what we can do, we can have a div here. Okay, then we'll make it display flex. Let's say h100. We'll see if this is working or not. Then we want flex column here. Add these two things. On this table responsive, we want to have flex grow 1. Let's see without any platform specific thing how it looks. If we want to change anything, we'll change. We'll make it work on the mobile. Then we'll see on the web what needs to be changed. Okay, we are here. Let's go to the home. Or maybe before that, let's check my quizzes. We are here. It is still not working. We'll see why it is not working. But before that, let's go to home. Start quiz. Okay. And we can see this page. Great. This is fine. Now we can see header. We can see this thing. Timer is working. We can see these options. We have exit, test, save and continue these buttons. Is Blazor a JS framework? Yes. Save and next. And things are working. So the UI wise, this is great. Submit the quiz. We need to add this option. Let's add the option, submit quiz. Okay. And we are back to this page where we need to add some more styling. So let's do this. For this, we'll go to our web inspector, reconnect dev tools. This does not work for me. Maybe it will work for you. So we'll close this. We'll open the inspect again. Here, let's see what is happening. So we'll have it. Table is fine. Then we have this div table responsive, call sm12, container fluid, row. Oh, this is the problem. This content px4. The problem is this px4. This is adding this extra spacing from all the sides. And I was thinking this is something different. Alright, first we need to fix this px4. On this screen, we don't need px4. So we have two options. Either somehow we need to remove this from this specific screen. We want this on other screens, but we don't want this on this screen. Or do we really need this on other screens? We have just this my quizzes page, home page. Okay, on home we can have this. Alright, okay. So on my quizzes, we'll do the same thing we are doing on the main quiz page. So we'll have this px4. It is adding right and left 1.5 rem. So from this page, we'll simply remove 1.5 rem from left and right, or on this container fluid only for the mobile only. We'll have margin left minus 1.5 rem. Same thing, margin right minus 1.5 rem. What happened? Margin right and margin left. Okay, we added it later, that's why it is not able to figure out. So but we are good. Okay, so we'll have it like this. Now next thing, let's see, on this div, or maybe this div container fluid, we need to have it 100%. Then we have row, then we have call sm12. Inside this we have this flex h1, which is not working, of course. So here let's try height 100 vh, but because we have this h100, it will not work. So let's have it vh100 class. Now it is vh100, but now what is happening, the paginator would go outside of this thing. Let's do this first. Let's fix these things. So we'll have margin left and right, this minus 1.5 rem. Maybe for this we should have one style, some class that we can add for both of these. Okay, let's do this. For mobile, www.root, CSS, app.css, these are mobile specific CSS. So here only what I'll do, I'll add dot px4 negative, something like this. So here I'll say margin left minus 1.5 rem and margin right also minus 1.5 rem. Let's use this. Copy, go to the I'll stop this. Go to the shared components my quizzes page. Here on this container float, I'll add that class. And same thing, I'll go the quiz or not quiz page layout on this style. Margin left and right, I'll add that class. So here on this div, I'll add that class px4 negative. Then on the mic which is we need instead of h100 we'll use vh100, vertical height 100. Okay, inside this we have this flex grow one for this one, and then we have this pagination. So let's save everything and let's try to run it again. We are here, let's go to my quizzes first, and it is still behaving weird. Okay, we need to work on this more. On home we are good, let's start quiz. Okay, on start quiz we are good. Exit, yes. Now we are here. Let's see what is happening, why it is not working. Again we'll go to the browser dev tools, inspect, and display flex table responsive. Maybe because table responsive overflow x auto. So for this one display flex, do we need to have w100 as well? Display flex, it is not taking the entire space, it should take up. On container we have px negative, as margin negative is not good. Margin left 1.5, margin right 1.5, rem units are fine, everything looks fine. px4, padding right, padding left. Let me see what is happening here. Let me try to debug. I don't want to waste your time because I don't have directly anything here. I need to try out different things. Then I'll see what is happening here. I'll explain. Alright, so what I have done for this, when I was adding margin left and right, so on this container fluid only, so we need to have this width. I was having this 100%, but it was not working. So 1.5 additional margins which we have added this here to make it compensate. Now it is width calci 100% and 3 rem, then it we can see this here. But now something is not right again. The scroll does not work here. We'll see if we have any problem with scroller, but we should be okay with this container width now. Then the bottom section, we have this flex grow one with w100 and vh100. So on this we should not have this vh100. So here w100 is not doing anything, we can remove this. Then vh100, let's remove this HL. Now what we want this to be at the bottom. So instead of this display flex table responsive flex grow one, we have this section What if we add some fixed height to this? And 50 pixel will be maybe 40 px on this paginator, and then this one on this table responsive where we were adding the, or maybe on this display flex. Should have VH100. It should work with VH100. Oh, VH100 is vertical height, but this top section, we need to remove this thing. Sorry, from this screen, yeah. So on this display flex, sorry, we'll say height. Again, we'll calculate it 100 VH minus height of this top section. So maybe the similar kind of thing, 75 px plus 15 px additional. Sorry, not plus, minus. Like this, we can have this thing similar way, right? So display flex column, let's have this height, but we need this only for mobile. And on the container fluid as well, we need width 100% plus 3 rem. Let's go to the my quizzes page. Here we have this container fluid. We need to have that that style. So here sorry for my throat. Okay, so here what we can do, we can maybe have, we have, let's do this, we can have 2-3 different approaches here. So we directly added this class because this class exists in mobile only, then only it will going to be applied. So here only we can either have the dynamic platform logic here, or we can have some class directly added here, and the css for that class will provide in mobile only, so that class will not have any effect on the browser, browser side, WebAssembly side, and that will be applied on the mobile app side only. So that is one approach. And second approach is we can have those variables here directly. That's up to us how we are doing this. Okay, we can have these things here, something like style var container style. Here we can check if platform dot is mobile app, then have this height. So this is not the height for this, this is height for this flex column, right? Here we'll say flex height. Same thing we'll do for the container style. If this is mobile, then height will have 100 VH, or what was that, 100% plus 3 rem. Okay, and if it is not the mobile app, then we'll not have anything. Let's add these flex styles. First thing is here, we'll add it here, not inside class but outside of class. Then we have this container style, so we'll add it not like this, it should be style equals then this thing. Same thing here, style equals this thing. Save everything, maybe stop and restart. And here we'll increase the page size also now. So I guess we don't need this platform thing here. We can get rid of that page size. Let it be 10 only. Let's start. Let's see how it looks on mobile first, then we'll see on web. So for this thing, as I mentioned, there could be multiple approaches. You can choose whatever approach you want to. You can have maybe move these to the on initialize there, and you can have one check for mobile is mobile app, then you can have these two in two variables. So all these things are up to you. And we again, it is not working because maybe these styles are not getting applied. We'll see. Okay, these styles are not getting applied. Then did we change anything else on any other page? No, we are just working on this page only right now. The internal page is fine. Let's see what happened. Are these styles getting applied or not? So we'll go to the browser dev tools, inspect again. And what happened? Stop. Maybe let's refresh this inspect devices. Wait. It is not coming. It should have come till now. Let's stop and start the app again. Okay, app is here. My quizzes page. Let's go to browser, inspect. What happened? Something is not right. Okay, maybe let's. I don't know what the issue is, but maybe this way is not working. So let's move to the second approach, which where I was saying that instead of having these variables here, let's have these in code block. These are going to be strings, string, string. Then this condition, I'm going to have this condition in this on initialized. And then we are going to set this flex layout equals this height. And then container style equals to this height. And we can have default values as empty string. And we'll add underscore underscore private, which is actually default underscore, not hyphen. So underscore underscore private. So let's use these here. So we'll say underscore and underscore. Let's see if this was the issue. Stop and run it again. If this does not work, then we'll go to that approach. We'll have the classes defined in the CSS of mobile app.css only. It is here, my quizzes, and it is still not coming. Let's see if now browser dev tools. No, maybe there was that alert box of size on my Windows machine. Maybe there is not enough space. Okay, let me do this. Let me close the Visual Studio and I'll see if it works, or maybe I'll need to restart my machine and clean up some space. Let me try that.